Nice. How's Sandy?
He actually hurt his back.
How you do
I had
that?
to take him to the emergency room
He was
last
humping.
week. Huh?
He was humping.
No, I don't know what it was.
Oh.
He woke up in the morning. I thought he was shivering. Like, I thought he was cold. So I was, like, putting the blanket over him. But then he was time to eat breakfast. And he wouldn't eat. And I'm like, this is nuts. Yeah, like,
Something going on.
Yeah, he wouldn't eat, and he kept shaking. And I was like, okay. So I took him to the emergency room, and they had to shoot him with methadone.
Whoa.
Then they were like, we need to give him x-rays and MRI. I'm like, okay, how much is this?
Yeah, exactly.
And they're like, well, for x-rays and MRIs, it's going to be like $50. I'm like, you can keep Sandy.
I know.
We're not going, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this is happening right now?
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Oh. Welcome to Punchie TV.
Welcome to Punchie TV with your hosts.
Welcome to Punchie TV. I am Punch with your host, Punchie, from JesseLeePeterson.com show. Oh, Joel Friday, the host of the... What am I saying about you? The American Anchor Baby. The host of the American Anchor Baby show. James Hake, a host of the Hake Report. Welcome to Punchie TV. Punchie.
Welcome to Punchy TV. We have a special guest, as you guys know, and maybe as you can see, or maybe as you can hear. We have Hassan in the building. Hassan, thank God.
He's back.
Sandy's daddy.
He is risen.
Trump ain't the only one back.
Hassan is here, and this is Hassan's first time on Punchy TV. So welcome to Punchy TV, Hassan.
Man, thank you so much, my brother.
Yeah.
Back at home.
Yeah, we're happy to have you. And obviously, as you guys know, Hassan has definitely been, here for a while with Bond. So he fits right in, and we're about to get into some stuff. I have some stuff I want to show him, ask him, and all that stuff. First off, the obvious thing is Trump just got elected. As you can see, he got the Make America Great Again hat.
I'm back on board.
He's repping.
I'm back on board. Even though it's basically like wearing a yarmulke, I'm back on board.
Embrace your Jewish roots.
Yes. Hi, Mom.
How did you get back? What happened? What made you think?
I like the last. I think he finished really strong. I think that the last 2 weeks for him was really strong, and I think the last 2 weeks for her was, I think she really did pretty poorly.
Yeah.
And that's not even a bias thing. I think that's just like a pretty obvious thing.
Were you considering her?
No, I wasn't considering her, but although I have seen younger pictures of her,
Yeah.
I'm just joking.
Mildly.
Shout out to Montel Williams. No, but I really like the MSG thing. I love that comedian, the Tony Hitch. I thought that edgy stuff was cool. Then I like that my dad was the one that showed me. He immediately sent me like the Nazi rally that happened in the 30s at MSG, because that became the like comparison.
Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And my dad sent me that, and I was like, okay, I'm starting to like him again.
Yeah.
So, no,
Wow.
I thought the McDonald's thing was cute too.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that was a smart PR move.
Yeah, move.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Even the garbage thing was funny. It was like it
was.
was like rap battle. It was like Drake and
Yeah.
like Kendrick. It was like, oh, you gonna call it my people trash?
Yeah.
I'm pulling up in the trash.
Troll
kid.
vibes.
Tekashi vibes.
No, I didn't think.
You know the vibes.
I didn't think any of it was real competition. Like, I don't think that anybody ever even considered, or even Trump himself considered, Kamala as competition. I think he more knew that the behind the scenes, the powers that be were the competition. Because she's not, to me, like from my perspective, you guys can let me know what you think, is that she's not competitive worthy, really, other than the fact that she's a black woman and potentially the first woman and black woman to be president. I feel like that was her only like stunt gimmick. But other than that, she don't have, to me, no kick.
Yeah.
So I never thought she was competitive.
I'm with you. She barely has a personality.
Yeah.
She has no strength or force or intimidation factor. Even,
Yeah.
I think we mentioned earlier, even Hillary Clinton seems more intimidating.
Yeah, that's a good.
More
yeah.
like people think that she kills people.
Yeah,
But
more scary.
yeah. But she just doesn't
That's
seem.
true.
She just seems like she goes along with whatever is popular, which
Yeah,
is liberal.
I also think that it's just like, I think people realize that the country needs a father and not a mother.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
it's pretty just evident that, it's just an evident thing, I think.
And if you want to jump in there, Nick, and also to me, like, with Trump, it just seems, I don't even know how to explain, put into words, but just more, you want to take him more serious outside of what he may say that you don't like, because it's always like the people who don't like him, it's always for the most silliest things, like words or comments or whatever.
Or they want to nitpick about the wall.
Yeah, like,
oh, he didn't put Hillary in jail.
Yeah, like silly things, but you
Warp speed.
You're
Who cares?
Bacon.
To me, it's like anybody would take Trump more serious than Kamala, even more serious than Biden. It was crazy to me that Biden was even allowed to go that long.
Yeah.
Maybe he had some coherency that was good enough for people to say, like, we'll just accept it. But as far as taking people serious, it's hard to take him serious too.
Yeah, I know.
So I just feel like it's always been an obvious thing to me without having to know politics like that. I don't know if you guys feel the same or not.
I completely agree.
Cool. Me too. I agree. What kind of ledge did seeing Trump at McDonald's? What kind of ledge did you walk? Where you walked back from seeing Trump at McDonald's, Hassan?
Oh well, I don't know. I don't know if it was necessary. I just thought it was like petty, like, and I'm Tom Petty, so like I love when people are petty, and I thought it was funny that it was like, oh, you know what? On Kamala's birthday, she keeps claiming that she worked at McDonald's.
Oh, was it her birthday?
Yeah. It was so diabolical. It's like, I love this. This is like...
It's right up Hassan's alley.
Yeah, this is like...
Finally.
You know what I mean? I'm like, so...
No, I loved it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so
I'm with you.
diabolical. It's so like, it's like, it's just like, it's like planting things outside, making you think like I'm in this RV when really I'm over here. It's just war, It's like, it's like
Kruger.
risk. It's like, it's like high level mental warfare.
Yeah.
It's like some Putin vibes,
It was
but
really
in a
almost
funny
like,
American way.
But it was really almost like Kendrick and Drake type of thing.
Yeah. It was like, it's her birthday, and she claims that she worked at McDonald's. Okay, cool. I'm pulling up to McDonald's, and I'm about to, like, say, I got a bounty on if anyone has any information that she actually worked at a McDonald's. And he was like, there's no info.
Yeah.
Like, no one's ever heard of this woman.
I didn't even think about it in that term because I didn't know about the birthday and all that stuff. But there's like a fun, relatable aspect to that, him doing that makes him more like a regular person and not so uptight.
Yeah.
But also still like him because he's that type to do that, to poke fun or to like make jokes, but yet still be so. It is a nice
But
touch.
also, I don't like that it makes him look like a regular person because he's not a regular person.
Oh, okay.
And his whole thing in 2015, 2016 was, I'm not regular.
Right.
I'm Bruce Wayne. Like I have like I am better. Like I have helicopters, I have like planes and buildings. Like I'm Trump, bro. Like I'm in a gold hotel room with my supermodel wife. Like he was like Batman. Like so I actually don't like that it makes him regular.
So then what part about the McDonald's thing made him
just the pettiness of it, just the diabolicalness of it, like the fact that there were so many things, like her birthday, pulling up the records that you never were there. I'm in your spot. This is your spot. I'm in your spot. I'm everywhere. I'm at the gas station. I'm at, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got invisible men.
Yeah.
Like it's like mafia vibes, but. I also think it's ironic and poetic that Trump is the one person to stop both potential first-time women presidents.
Oh, that's
I
true
love that.
too.
It's like
That's
so
true, dude.
poetic.
Yeah.
It's like Hillary and her. It's like
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting too. Nobody wants to talk about that Trump was up against two candidates, but also had to go against the popularity of both those candidates, even though it's the Democrat Party and whatever, but he had to go against Joe. And then after that, when Joe was out, he had to go against Kamala, which is two different type of, I don't know, is it different demographics or same, just Democrat Party people, voters?
It's kind of different demographics because the excitement for Joe Biden was, I mean, there's no real excitement for Joe Biden. Just
Right.
that he was kind of lovable. And then, but then they pretended to be excited, like what
Yeah.
you said. First black,
Yeah.
first woman, first black woman.
Yeah. See, and that's, I'll go ahead and finish.
And then also that
Yeah.
she's more radical. Like she's
Yeah.
been more openly radical than Joe.
Yeah, see, that's the thing is that he had Joe beat, especially after that debate, for the
Yeah.
most part, as far as popularity, and he had it beat. And then they call a play and bring in the black girl,
Uh-huh.
and the black girl comes in and has this new excitement, I guess, attached to her because now she gets this woman vote. So he had to go and overcome two different things. So
Yeah,
people
totally.
don't talk about that.
I mean, what this man had to overcome just in general. I mean, it's the great, even if you hate the man, right? Even if you hate him, this has got to be the greatest comeback.
Yeah.
I mean, really since Christ, but like politically or anything, it's like unbelievable. This man was completely liquidated, basically
Yeah.
moments away from bankruptcy, like, and
False
shot,
convictions.
Yeah, it's really unbelievable. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like the craziest movie, you know?
And the whole while he's good natured. Like you talk
Yeah.
about the pettiness, but it's not like
Yeah.
I hate you pettiness.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like I'm having fun.
Exactly.
I'm clowning you.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
that.
I don't even take you seriously.
Yeah.
Type
Yeah.
of
But the
pettiness.
people like that too. That's what I'm saying. Like the people like that too, and also the people also like. And I don't know if he's done this as much, but I seen like a little clip of 2016, and he was going like real hard 2016 as far as like the debates.
Oh yeah.
So people like those little things, but that's what makes
He was
Trump who he
relentless.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's also why I like him. That's kind of why I was talking about the Bruce Wayne thing. Like in
Yeah.
2016, he looked at everybody and was like, all y'all are
Yeah.
owned. You know what I mean? And nobody pays me. Nobody.
I
y'all-
pay you.
Yeah, you guys all have
Yeah.
skirts and dresses on. Like he was just so New York. He
Yeah.
was so just like Gotham City. Like, you know.
Yeah.
You know, he took every opportunity too. When he had to go to court, like right after court, he went and delivered pizza to like firemen in New
Oh,
York
yeah.
or something like that. So
Yeah.
he had the wits, or whoever was on his team had the wits to take advantage of every opportunity to
Yeah.
reach out to the people.
Yeah. And be
And
involved.
That Muslim guy who was on my show, Omar, Third Rail Omar, was on my
I
show.
love him.
yesterday.
Yeah.
He's there's a full blown all Muslim community in like a town, and then according to him, they invited Trump to that town, and he spoke with them, and they endorsed him.
Oh, nice.
So
That whole town was
Muslim
pro-Trump.
family values.
So both your mom and dad are going Trump?
My mom for sure. I mean, my mom. If he would have lost, she would have been at the next January 6th. Like, she was already like
Shout out,
threatening.
Katie.
Like she was like, I need Alex Jones's number just in case. Like just in case they pull any fast stuff tonight.
Yeah.
But my dad. I don't know. He did text me today and was like, "Congratulations to the Orange Man." So I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
like
yeah.
a
We'll take it.
halfway compliment.
The Muslim,
Yeah.
they're coming together?
Yeah, the Holy Trinity.
The Holy Trinity.
I also think it's
Interesting.
funny, like that. Just to touch on what you were saying about like the playfulness, like
Yeah.
you are right because, and I do kind of miss this part about him, but and this is probably non-Christian of me, but like a couple years ago when he would speak in rallies, he'd be very like revengeful, and he would like he would even be kind of like calling names and being like, and I kind of like
Okay.
that, but you're right. Now you can tell there's like. It almost is truly like, not to get super like holy roller, but it almost does feel like there's some sort of anointing or calming over him to where like now he's able to do those same type of what I would say
Yeah.
revengeful maneuvers,
Yeah.
but they are with like a genuine like good spirit. Like he's
Yeah.
not, it doesn't really feel like,
Well, maybe it's like a maturity now because I remember him saying in an interview, I think it was maybe Rogan, on Joe Rogan. I seen a little bit of it. He was saying that how like it was such a brand new thing for him when he got in 2016. Being in the Oval Office, he was never into politics before, and now he's into politics. Being in the Oval Office, seeing all these things, it was brand new to him. So maybe in getting in there, and I don't know, but maybe in getting in there and realizing all the strings that are being pulled, all the people against him, all the people for him, and all that stuff, maybe he learned how to just be smarter about going about this stuff. Because look what happened in 2020.
Yeah.
They got him out, you know?
And
Better, not bitter.
Yeah. With that being said, because I got these clips I want to show you guys.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know if you guys see like any videos online of testimonies from people who die and then go to heaven or hell. You guys see those?
Nah.
Only on your channel.
That one time, right? Okay. I've never watched them either until I came across these little ones. It's like the most fascinating thing I've ever seen in my life. I don't know why I haven't been watching them, but the way they explain these things is so, and this is just me, because maybe somebody else will see that and be like, what the, you know, like that's not, it's so real, so realistic to me. In these clips I'm gonna show you guys, I don't necessarily give all the details of the hell thing. You'd have to watch the full clip, but there's this guy named Dominic Morrow, and he goes on a podcast called Know Christ. I don't know if you guys have heard it, but
KNOW Christ?
KNOW Christ.
Not N-O Christ.
Yeah,
Okay.
not no Christ, but KNOW Christ, and explains in the details his experience of going to hell after being shot twice and pronounced dead. So in these series of clips, he kind of explains a little bit, but this first one here is where he speaks on what he noticed right away in hell after he got shot.
Wow.
Here we go.
Yes. So now as I'm falling and I'm seeing this portal and it's open, as it opened now, I'm pretty much right there and I can see every detail. Now remember, your senses are heightened. You can see a molecule if you wanted to, if you focus and zoom in on it. I mean, that's how pinpoint accurate your senses are in the spiritual body. Now I'm looking and it's rocks, like stones, ancient rocks, caverns, but I fall through and I hit the bottom. So when I hit the bottom, I mean, I slammed so hard, but I didn't even feel that pain like that, because when I tried to move, I was so more worried. I was like, I was just panicking so bad. I tried to move and I couldn't move the way we move here. It felt like I was wearing a big heavy suit, like I was weighed like 900 pounds. So just like I'm moving my arms now and I can do this and that. No. First of all, you feel like instantly I felt I had no energy. And what that was, now that I realize, is that we're so used to being in our physical body. We're so used to things of our physical nature. Like I couldn't breathe. When I was trying to breathe, it was like the lips, like I couldn't even breathe. It's because I wasn't breathing in the first place. There's no oxygen in that place. But we're so used to being here, just like we're breathing now, we're unconsciously breathing. So I thought I was trying to breathe. So that makes my anxiety there even worse, because you're so used to being in this flesh. You think you have fleshly movement. It doesn't work that way. You're stripped of everything. Remember, you're stripped of everything God gave you. So even having movement, even that comes from God. But that was stripped. You get stripped of all of that by the time you make it there.
Dang.
So, do you guys believe anything he said? You think it's real? What do you got first impression off of him explaining going to hell?
That's interesting. I believe him. I don't know. I mean, I believe that it sounds like that's what he went through.
Why do you believe him?
Okay, there you go.
Why do I believe him?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if it was a dream or not, but it just seems like he was panicking. He was scared, and that makes sense.
Yeah, that happens too in a comic book I read somewhere.
What's Negulon?
Well, yeah,
I don't know. I made it up. I didn't have a good reference to anything. But hey,
So-
I might as well have went to hell too, right?
So you don't
Dang,
believe it.
he's
So Nick
mocking
doesn't
him.
believe it.
He's a mocker.
No, you guys want a show. You guys want a show. No, I'm just messing around. You seem to be giving him a lot of leeway though. Like
What?
you don't really believe him. You just don't disbelieve him. And I think that's a
Right.
That's
Yeah,
a
I mean,
fine position.
I'm not thinking that he necessarily went to hell
Right.
or didn't. He may have, he may not have. But it seems like
That's what I'm asking.
he went into like this vision or whatever. I don't know what happens when you're close to death or died. I don't know if he was full blown dead or only mostly dead.
I don't know either.
But you're saying it makes sense to you enough that it could be true.
Yeah, I mean, I've had dreams where I couldn't hardly breathe or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's a panicking feeling. And so,
Yeah.
and plus he's dying, and if he's experiencing like this falling thing, that means he's going to hell. And who wants to go to hell? Especially if you don't think it's a fun thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean,
And
I don't
it's
know.
forever.
He goes into, so let's go, this is what we'll do. We'll go more into these clips.
Okay.
So we could have a better perspective and kind of go from there. So this is where Dominic explains. His name is Dominic Morrow. Did I mention that? Dominic Morrow?
Morale, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, Dominic Morrow explains how the demons feed off of their hate for human beings in hell.
The hatred that they have for us, it is beyond description. It is beyond words. They hate. There's no form of hate here on this planet that can even get close to how they feel about us. They hate you so bad, you can feel it. The energy will kill you. If their hatred was in the form of a weapon, here on earth you would die. Every time they talk.
So you never understood what they were saying.
Oh yeah, you understand everything. I'm gonna use the term. You overstand everything that they say. When they was communicating back and forth, they were calling us stupid humans. When they were grabbing and torturing humans and doing all type of things, they were calling us stupid, and they were laughing. They laugh, they enjoy it. Because what I found out and what I saw myself through my experience is that they get energy off our pain. They eat it. It's a form of food to them. It's like a drug to them. They get high off of it. That's why they're here on earth. They keep us depressed, angry, full of anxiety, because they're feeding off that. That's their food. They literally eat that. So they cause situations for you to feel that way so they can eat. They eat off that. And in hell, they have an abundance, nonstop supply of food, because all they do is torture. They say if your arm gets ripped off, your arm will grow right back. Rejuvenate. And it happens over and over and over again.
Lizard vibes.
Like I say, I saw tons of people there where they were ripping over their mouth and pouring hot lava down their throats. They'll melt and they'll come right back and they'll do it all over again. And then they invite other demons to come and get their turn.
Facts.
What do you think about that, Hassan?
Well, I don't want to be graphic, but it reminds me of what my mother and I don't know if you remember, I had this guy Gabriel Cannon on my on the show way back. Anyway, my mother and him talk about how Satan has this 1,000-foot long
private part
that you'll never stop getting and you'll be begging for water, and you know, because my mother always tells me, "Oh yeah, you want people want to be degenerate and have S word. Well, you have all the S you want when you're in hell, and you'll be begging for it to stop." And it's scary. I mean, this is like when I was little, when I used to hear about Revelations, I used to be scared. Like I never wanted to read Revelations because I would hear stories of like how scary it was. Anyway, I'm going off track, but I'm saying. That reminded me a bit of that.
To be
Does
honest,
Revelation say we get R-worded?
Well, I don't know. I think it does.
Does it?
How do you not know?
I forget.
If you don't know, we don't know.
your parents skipped that one. It was too graphic.
I read the whole thing, but
No,
it was
but
NIV.
My mom
If you
focused
guys
on that.
but see, the thing is, why I'm not denying that is graphic.
Yeah, sorry. I swear I'm not trying to be graphic.
I know. But the thing
Blame
is
Janie.
because when you watch the full episode, this guy goes into the details of what he saw in there. And a lot of those things that he says isn't far off from those kind of things. Just based off of the mindset of the demons and like when you're stripped away of spirit completely, because the spirit and us on earth, like, the spirit keeps us from doing a lot of things. Even like when we see somebody who we think is our enemy, right? But an enemy on earth is different than an enemy in hell, because they're on earth, they got a chance. And what he explains too is in hell, there's no chance. So they're stripped all of straight light. And if you're, look at the crazy things people do on earth and they're not completely stripped. So imagine what they do. So that's why I'm not totally denying that. But he says some crazy thing. The lava thing is,
the lava
extreme.
thing, that's how stuff really is if you think about it.
Yeah.
Like, I do something to hurt your feelings, but then it grows back, and then I do it to you again, and you're in pain again, and you're also thinking about that other thing.
Yeah.
But it already grew back, but you're not healed from it because you're just just over and over that evil attack.
And the guy was saying also too in this clip that the demons feed on the pain, right?
Yeah.
They feed on the pain, and we do the same thing, just the thrills,
Making people,
right?
somebody cuts you off, you cut them off back.
Yeah, because it feels good.
Because you want to hurt them, you want to get them mad, and you hope that they got mad.
Right.
Well, what I was saying about like even the Trump saying the revenge stuff, or it's like things that I know are petty, that is you're feeding the demon.
Yeah.
That feeling that you're getting is not for you.
Yeah.
It's you are feeding that evil thing. So it also kind of reminds me of, like, you familiar with like Dante's Inferno?
That's a hell thing, hell situation.
Yeah, it's like I think it's some sort of like art painting, and then it was also turned into like some sort of book or poetry, and then into a play. And
it's about this.
Yeah,
or?
it's really like an in-depth explanation of like the 7 layers of hell. And it basically parallels the 7 layers of hell with the spiritual layers of hell, like in our being, but then it also explains like the real hell.
Yeah.
There's also a great Robin Williams movie.
Whoa.
Where him and his wife die, he goes to heaven, but his wife goes to hell, and he goes down to hell to try to save her.
Oh shoot!
It is
Christian.
yeah, but it's an unreal film.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And supposedly the Mel Gibson movie that they're working on,
Part 2,
Passion of Christ 2, is supposed to be Jesus
going into
hell for 3 days.
Setting
That's
us free.
crazy. I didn't even know none of this. I know Nick's over there like.
Yeah, sorry.
we're
Yeah,
talking.
we need Nick's vibe.
You don't know what I'm thinking.
Nick's vibes.
Nick's over here.
I can only see a
He's
screen, just so you guys know. I can only see a screen.
Yeah.
I can't see their faces. Many times I'm trying to get in.
That's why I gotta look at
but they actually have no clue what I'm thinking right now. Don't worry, I got my chance coming up.
No, we're gonna get him.
No. We're waiting to gang up on you. Anything though that you have?
Nick's thinking
nothing
about
going on
Dante's
right now?
Inferno.
Boy,
No,
in the
big time.
corner.
I have
go
a whole
ahead.
bunch the
Nick's
thing is
Googling
about-
Dante's Inferno.
I know. He's
What'd
like,
you say?
Is that
Googling
like,
Dante's Inferno.
is that painting by like Hieronymus Bosch?
That's what I think. Yeah, I think originally
It's also
that's
like a
what
book, right?
I think it was. Yeah, it's either one or the other, and then I think
It's a grand. What do they call it? A grand. Grand poem. Grand whatever.
yeah, but
I've
there is a
never heard of
painting
it.
as well.
Scary.
I've never even heard of it.
Yeah.
No, when I heard him start talking about what the demons are into and describing this force, this legion that is affecting humanity, you might think that's crazy, but that's one of the only few explanations that, if you really kind of peel it back, that can make sense of what's going on. You have a mass, you have all the peoples of the world gnashing and gnawing, and they say they're free. And it's the craziest thing, because if they were free, the world wouldn't be the way it is. It's like the only explanation is interdimensional demons, and it's like you gotta go. You don't have to go wacko with it, but I'm just the details. The details. I get the message, maybe even, but I don't get.
Yeah.
I just don't care about the details because I'm on this side of the veil.
Yeah.
So I've heard countless stories and fantastical things, and they give it many different names: Christian, occult. I've heard all sorts of fantastical things. I don't sweat these kinds of details because I'm on this side of the veil. The only thing you can communicate to me is something real, like hell is controlling people. Yeah. Like that other black guy that Jesse had commented once on, this guy that he said he died or whatever. He said he in that moment saw that his own ego and his own mind killed him. I'm like, that I understand on this side. Yeah. So that's how I feel about it.
When you get into the details,
because it's like, it seems like you guys are fascinated by lava. It's like, come on, guys.
The only reason,
whatever, man.
Wake up.
You don't know.
Grow up.
The only reason is because
but that was a funny little explanation with the lava caking on. That's pretty cute.
I think it's like
he needs your help. That black guy in that video needs your help weaving these stories.
It's just interesting to me because I see it like the things that we would do like in that carnal nature if we were to have no resistance makes my imagination go whether it's real or not. I can't confirm, but it makes my imagination go to as far as lava, as far as these things, because I think of like on the the beginning stages or like on a smaller scale, what my desires are to do, like the desires are to do in hell, right? Like whether it be to get revenge or whether it be to judge somebody else. It's like there is life that comes from that, you know.
True.
That makes sense.
Who freaking knows? But
you just got to grow up, but that makes total sense.
I know.
I also just want to say I love that Nick's reference of the sounds of gnawing and mashing, because that is in the Bible, right?
Gnashing of teeth and weeping.
It probably came out of my memory somewhere, but that's in the Bible, huh?
I like that.
Yeah.
There you go.
They're just very strong words.
Indeed.
They're very they're good words.
Yeah.
They give you a visual and an oral.
Yeah.
Sense.
Wait, that's in the Bible?
So he's he's just lifting.
Well, weeping and
he's
gnashing
stealing
of
like
teeth
an
or
artist.
Yeah, something like
this
that.
guy.
What did you say?
So he's lifting. He's creatively lifting from the Bible. It was already written.
Contain samples.
Yeah, exactly. He's sampling.
The special abuse he saw the demons had with the pastors and the people of the church in hell, and why? Lord.
Your wife said you said something about, or I think it wasn't the last one I listened to, actually. You said you saw pastors and people like that there. Could you explain?
Yes. You know what? And I saw, and a lot of them were still dressed in suits. Okay. There was like a cavern, like a cave. And a lot of them were just sitting there like they were waiting. Well, the demons would come in, especially the giant ones, and snatch them up and throw them in boxes. They were throwing these pastors in boxes. They had all types of stuff for them. They had all types of, they had a field day with the pastors, the fake pastors. I'm going to be honest. A lot of them were just misusing their authority that God gave them. Okay. For one example, they threw this one pastor in a box, and it was an old, nasty box, but the box was filled with hot coals in it. So when they throw them in it and they close it, you can hear them. I mean, the screams are beyond, you can feel it. You can feel. And they were throwing these things in them. They were stabbing this. They were ripping people apart. They were eating people, especially the pastors. They had a real good time with them. They were enjoying, really. A lot of people who I saw were a part of the church. Like I said, you can look at somebody in hell and know why they're there. There's no ifs, ands, about it. Like if somebody was to look at me, they'll know why I was there.
The people that were in church, what were some of the sins that they did?
I saw more gossipers in hell than anything from the church.
Wow.
Gossip, backstabbing, lust in the church, right? But the most of all was the gossiping, because people don't understand the power of gossip. They don't understand how powerful it is, how you can hurt somebody's life for just, you know what I mean? It was so many people down there for gossiping, They smile in your face, but then, oh, look at Sister Clark, or look at brother so-and-so. But then you're in church praying with them instead of praying for them. See, when you talk about somebody's problem, you better have a solution. If not, it's gossip. Plain and simple. If you're going to talk about someone's problem, you better be willing to help that person. If not, don't talk about it and stay out of their business, because that's serious. God doesn't play with gossip.
Interesting. He said that was one of the most prominent ones that he saw in hell, is people were gossip. I never understood. I always heard gossip, don't gossip, but I've never understood really, probably until recent times, and maybe even still not fully understand, what even is gossip, if you guys can define it.
It's like obscenity. You know it when you see it.
I mean, it's
Not always.
It's without necessarily answering the question, I want to mention that repeatedly in the Bible it warns against gossiping, slandering, backbiting, fighting, infighting, division, all that stuff. And that's kind of what gossip is division in the church.
You know, I was thinking like when I heard this, because I've been hearing JOP's been talking about gossiping a lot.
Yep.
I hear it even out in the world, gossiping, don't gossip. But I never really understood what it meant. When he said that, it made me think. I was like, well, what does even gossip mean? And maybe you guys can add to it, it's just, for one, it's just a judgment about the person. So you're already looking down on the person.
Yep.
And you already have a negative outlook on them. And then now you're taking that and feeding it to somebody else.
And talking about them.
Yeah, you're talking about them. But a judgment is a lie anyway. A judgment is not seeing the full picture. Yeah. So you're taking a lie and feeding it to somebody else, and they're taking a lie. So I can see that part of it. I don't know if you guys want to add to it, but
that makes sense. It's like that's why it's so evil. It's propagating. It's like Satan's orders, and he wouldn't. When you get down to the minutia, how is he operating? Because you can look at the big, like look at Satan operating. Look at all the abortion, but how did it get there? How does he? Yeah. How does he affect the world? Where do you get to the most granular? It's the gossip. It's the little order, and all these people carrying it out.
Yeah.
It's as evil as it gets. It's crazy.
That's because you're carrying out, like in the physical, what's going on in your spirit.
Yeah.
You're giving like voice to the devil. It's like when Nick said in church that he stopped doing making a face of judgment when he sensed something to judge, and he stopped having the feeling of judgment because you're not obeying the devil.
Yeah.
Joe's gonna be zooming in on my face this episode. Though.
I know.
He's gonna be like
slow zoom.
This whole episode, he's been like.
The facials are perfect.
It was like Dr. Phil. It was like Dr. Phil all over again. He's just judging us.
You were speaking though.
But I think that it's like multiple times in the warnings, in the letters to the churches.
Yeah.
Love one another. Love in deed, not just in word. So
I didn't realize how easy it is. And I never really understood the definition, like how we're explaining it, never understood it. But it's so easy to do it, right? Because the judgment of it feels true.
Yep.
It's not even like you're intentionally being like, I know this person is this and I'm slandering them, which could be true, but it seems so true and so real, but it's a lie because that's not who that person is, right? But you do take those, like Nick said, you take the lie and then you pass it on, and then the lie continues to snowball until you have feminism or whatever. Like it just gets into these little things. It's just negativity. Gossip is strictly just lies. Because if it was truth, you wouldn't say it. It would be positive, right? Like you wouldn't have nothing to say.
Yeah.
But it's so easy to gossip, and I realize
just the facts. Just the facts. People, when they're mad, they feel like they're being righteous. They feel like they're righteously angry. Same thing with the gossip. They feel like they're righteously gossiping.
It almost feels like it's not even a big deal. It almost feels like it's like, oh, I'm just doing a little gossiping.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't actually, it's so easy to slip into it, like you said, that you almost don't even know that you're doing it.
Yeah.
Which a lot of things you don't know, but not to the extent of gossiping. Like even anger or lust and stuff like that, you can slip into it without being conscious. Yeah. But for the most part,
you know,
you're kind of aware when you're angry. You're kind of aware when you're
exactly.
But gossiping is such a slithery kind of thing where it almost feels like, well, what's the harm in this?
And to that too is that there's also a righteousness lie that's in there that I've experienced, to where that, like, you know, something's off, like, you know, it's just a little, but the righteousness lie is like, but you're not wrong in what you're saying, right? That's true about that person, but totally realizing that, but it's slander.
Yeah.
Even if it is like true, is it true? Right? Do we even know? But it's just slander about the other person slandering you.
Yeah.
And you just don't even, but it's easy to get into it. It's a crazy thing.
The thing about judgment, gossip, slander, those things, you don't even have to be in a group of people talking about someone's business. It could be you're with a group of people and this new, some person that you're judging, gossiping or whatever about, they come in and now you just act different. In what you just don't say. And now that affects this crew that you're subconsciously yet weirdly, spiritually affecting them too. Dividing. And that's not even you. That's Satan dividing everybody. It's crazy.
Dominic explains the type of pastors he saw in the church and warns the viewers not to follow these types.
Like fake pastors in the sense of like, what were they doing exactly? Like, what did they do?
They were popcorn Christians. What I mean by popcorn Christianity is a term that me and my friends came up with, is because they're okay, like a popcorn kernel is hard, right? A kernel of popcorn. But when you apply heat to it, it puffs up and it turns soft. That's what they were. They were acting like they were really hardened for the Lord, that they were really solid, but then the heat and the pressures of the world turned them soft and they became worldly.
Okay.
And they're fake.
So
they
worldliness.
Yes. And a lot of them are, like I always say, intellectual parrots, meaning they know the scriptures, inside and out. They sound good. They sound, but they don't live them. They don't live them. They fool the people. That's why I tell the people, it's not up to the pastor or your deacon or your bishop to establish your personal relationship with the Lord. That's up to you, because a relationship with the Lord is ultra personal. It's not their responsibility. And you can be, even the Lord says, don't follow a man because you never know who you are following.
Interesting. Nice.
He says that the popcorn Christians they're intellectual.
Right.
But they don't live it. It's all intellectual. So they have the knowledge of these things, but they're not living it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like what you're saying.
They're leading other people to follow into that other mess.
Exactly.
And shame on the people for following them.
Yeah, exactly.
But shame on them for misleading the people.
Misleading the thing. So I don't know if you.
No, earlier Hake said something about like wisdom and how when it's not really bestowed on you, it's like then you're just running around to different churches acting like Jesse, me. But it's interesting how like wisdom is really hidden in plain sight. And he's talking about like a personal relationship with God, and it's like it's so funny how that wisdom is really there all the time, and it's just hidden right there. But it's just interesting. It's like it's how we put these blockades and like these different things, but it's really right there.
It's already
and it's
there,
like at its simplest form. It's like. Even like with music, like sometimes you add a bunch of stuff, you be like, it needs this, and then you revert back to like, after like 2 months, you revert back to its original form, where it was like almost nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
And
the first try was the right try.
Yeah. And it's like also like that you were talking about the levels of hell and heaven or whatever. Like, it's like you gotta really be on some. There's levels to this.
Yeah.
I normally don't like the language personal relationship with God or whatever.
Yeah.
But I didn't mind it coming from him or whatever. Because I wasn't thinking about it in that way.
And you knew
about
what he
judging
meant.
him based on the language.
Yeah.
Because like multiple times the Bible says, no longer will one man teach another man, know the Lord.
Yeah.
Or whatever, because they will all know him.
Yeah.
From like he said, the wisdom is available it's hidden in plain sight for everybody.
And JC said that?
Yeah.
In the Bible, it said something like that. No longer will a man teach his neighbor know the Lord, because everybody will know him.
But was Jesus read? Or
it was somebody said it in the Bible. I don't know if Jesus said it, but I'll write my law in the hearts. Like in multiple different places, New Testament and Old, I think.
Well, one thing too is that like what Hassan saying too is that like it is hidden in plain sight too. But the thing is that the time it like how easy it is to be still to find it is that we're not still, because when you're chasing it, you go blurry. It's like how can I put it in an example? It's like when you're in a car, right, and you're going 100 miles per hour and you look out the window, you can't really see what's passing. But when you slow down, you get like a clear vision.
Right.
So it seems as if people are not seeing it in plain sight is because so busy trying to chase the truth.
Yeah.
But you're missing it because you're running, trying to get
and
it.
that's why sometimes God will just. This is like when Jesse talks about don't get in the way, don't stop pretending to play God. Like don't help this person. Like let them like
suffer.
hit rock bottom or suffer, or let them find God. Like let God intervene. And it's like that is real. You're right. You just hit it on the head. That's what keeps it from being in plain sight. Is the distraction really is our ego.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like the ego is like what's preventing us sometimes from. It's almost like a cushion so that we don't hit full, like a full car accident.
That's it right, yeah.
And it's like sometimes God is really gonna like, give you that car
But
accident.
think about that. Like, think about that though. That cushion is the fear.
Yeah.
Saying like, I want to make sure I'm okay if I do it. Like it's just like like false like those things you put up when you go bowling because you're afraid
of
the
bumpers. I was gonna say that.
Yeah, like that. That's exactly what it is. It's like instead of just like going.
Yeah.
Because you don't crash. You may crash, but it's not pain.
Yeah.
Like it's not.
But it's like what Jesse talks about running towards the buffalo.
Yeah.
Like when the storm. I mean the buffalo runs toward the storm. Like, yeah, you almost want to pray. You want to pray for that car accident almost.
Yeah.
Because the quicker you do that is like the quicker you can die.
The love thing, really quick. The last comment on that. Real love, I realized too, is that has no attachment. And if there's any attachment, it is not love. Because the real love, in a way, as you say, you realize now that you actually have love for the person because there's no attachment to you. You can let it go. It's because love is not doesn't have a grip. And I used to think that like because if you think about the lustful side of these things, it does want to possess, but possess is not enough. It wants to squeeze. Squeeze is not enough. It wants to suck the life out of, and that's not even enough. And then you end up realizing that you're you're destroying the person. You know what I mean? But love is just like free flowing, and in plain sight, you see what to do and how to approach the person because the answers are already there, like you had said before. So that's like the best place to be, but people don't know that even exists.
I'm so mad that I kept saying "wow" in the middle of that because I didn't want to mess up your soundbite. That was so ill.
Yeah,
that
it's
was
crazy, man.
That was like, yes.
This is where he says, he explains how what people must do in order to avoid hell and accept heaven and overcome all these things. Lord.
The top two. The top one is gossip. The next one is unforgiveness. You know how many people say, I forgive, but I won't forget? That's not forgiveness. See, when God forgives us, it's deleted from the universe. It's gone. He doesn't remember, clearly doesn't remember. You can try to say, hey, Lord, remember I did this? He's going to say, what are you talking about? Because it's been deleted from his heart. We don't do that. We say we forgive you and still have in the back of our mind reservations and judge that person and still kind of say, I'm just going to, and I saw so many people there for that. See, people don't understand. Yeah, we unqualify and disqualify ourselves from going to paradise. Paradise in heaven cannot have 1 ounce of filth in it. If so, you will corrupt it. So that's why we need the Lord as a mediator to make sure he washes us from that. Because we're all imperfect. We're going to fall. We're going to have flaws. But our relationship with him and his grace, he washes us clean from that so we can enter paradise. Because you cannot have 1 blemish on you. It's like if you have a fresh basket of apples and you put one in with a little mold on it, what's going to happen to the rest of those apples?
Your whole bunch is going to be spoiled.
Exactly. So therefore,
I
we
heard.
disqualify ourselves from getting into heaven because we're so blemished, and then we think we can do it on our own. We can't do it without him. There's no way we can cleanse ourselves the way we need to be cleansed to be on that frequency of heaven. So we disqualify ourselves.
There's one thing I wanted to say about that is I love how he admits to the point that it has to be done on our behalf, because Christianity teaches, well, not Christianity itself, but the people who represent it teach that study to show yourself approved, do it in your efforts, in your good deeds. When God has to do it, God has to draw you in. He has to take the blemishes away. We don't have no control. We can't take the blemishes away from ourselves. We can't, because he says you can't get into heaven with not one blemish. But how am I going to get rid of all my blemishes? And how do I know that I got rid of all of them, right? But I love how he said that God has to do it. God has to renew the mind, and it's not on our behalf of thinking we can control to do it. So I wanted to see what you guys thought about that. Or you believe in him, or...
It's just straight biblical. One rotten apple spoils the whole bunch.
Yeah.
And like it says, wash white as snow, without blemish, spotless.
So
That's
it is in there.
the lamb, and that's what we're supposed to be. The lamb being
Nice.
Jesus. So, facts. In your
Interesting.
face.
Yeah, he went to hell.
You said what?
Yeah, he went to hell.
Yeah, it's confirmed now.
I don't mind his outfit. I don't mind his hair.
Right.
Well, I do.
Right.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have mentioned it. But no, I mean, he's just telling it. Look, it sounds like he's just telling the truth.
Yeah.
I've seen a whole bunch of stuff, and most people say nonsense. So,
Yeah.
you know, I've never been to hell myself, sir,
Right.
but that information is just true.
It's
It's
helpful.
just absolutely true.
It's helpful enough to.
But most
make your-
people, they say they'll never say anything like that. They'll never say the pastors are in hell. Most people who I've seen
Exactly.
in videos where they say they died and saw whatever, and they never say the good people are in
Yeah.
hell. They never say any of this.
I'll put the full video in the description. You can watch for yourself the details he goes into. Also, there's other people that talk about this, and they explain similar situations. And I know they all didn't get together and decide, let's make up propaganda to give to the people. Say this details. It's weird how it all aligns.
Interesting.
And you can use your own mind and your own understanding to see if it's true or not. So that's that.
Did he mention any chomos in the whole thing?
Who's that? Cholos?
Chomos.
Who's that? Chris
Child
Chomo?
molesters.
Oh.
Did he mention child molesters? Because people think,
Oh, I see
you know,
what
the
you're saying.
propaganda is
Yeah.
they're the ones who deserve it the worst. The child molesters.
Not in this
your
video?
video?
No. But
Interesting.
I'm sure.
But the fake Christians, the pastors, the gossipers.
Oh, good point.
The
They make
unforgiving.
those out to be the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
Exactly. Not
Interesting.
the pastors. They
Right.
don't say nothing about the pastors. That's a good point.
Yeah, if real quick, just in closing, what James mentioned, like Jesus being the lamb, it's funny too, because like even in the Bible, don't they refer to like us as like sheep a lot?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's interesting how you kind of answered it already, but I was thinking, sitting here, I was thinking like, man, you know, like Jesse probably be sitting there. This is before you just answered it, but I was like, Jesse probably be sitting there like, man, these like Ninja Turtle, my Ninja Turtle. That's how I look at like him as Splinter, and we're like the turtles. But I'd be thinking like, man, he'd be sitting back like, man, even with all this information and wisdom that I'm giving him, like these knuckleheads are still like, you know. But you just hit it on the head, like, and he alluded to it, like it's really in God's timing, and it's really in how God is gonna work on you and with you, and you can hear it coming from somebody every day.
Yeah.
You can hear the wisdom, you can hear the Holy Spirit coming out of somebody, and yeah, it's definitely helpful, and it's you know, if you take heed to it, but there's still something about really having to kind of go through this process of like, you know, there's nobody that can that can walk with you.
Yeah,
you know?
nobody can save you, and that's why people laugh when I say faith. I talk about when I say stuff like tell people to have faith, but that's the only thing we can have in order for God to draw us in, because we don't know when He's gonna do it. We can't make Him do it, and He'll do it on His own timing. So all we can do is just sit back. It sounds crazy, but relax, because that take the stress off of trying to figure out how you're gonna do it. But if you could just let go and relax and just let Him do it, then you're not worried about, will it happen? Am I gonna get there? Am I gonna make it? Am I gonna go to hell? But faith is what's drawing you in. So
sit back, relax, and get the popcorn, like he said. The popcorn Christians.
Watch it all go down.
The popcorn Christians are on the right track. They're just sitting back and watching. You know what I mean? Just got the popcorn like MJ.
They got the hint. No.
I was just working on a Bond archive service of Jesse's Sunday service from 2010, and in it he mentions a lot of people are like, "Oh, I must not want it. I must not want it enough. That's why I don't actually do it." But then he said, "No, it's just that you don't want it enough to drop the ego."
Yeah.
And just be still.
Yeah, that's it.
The ego doesn't want to be still.
Exactly. It wants to try and force salvation.
Yeah.
And that's just fear. It's just fear. It's just
force it, and also just chase after other things too.
Yeah.
Get distracted. Crazy.
That's
Speaking of JLP, I don't know if you see in the shirt here, but maybe some announcements coming soon.
I'll show it. No, they'll see it on the full screen.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Maybe something coming.
Punchy shirt.
Punchy on Punchy TV.
Punchy IE.
I like the rope font. That's
and it's the IE.
Exactly.
Nice.
We've made adjustments.
With that being said, this is my last question. How do we end this?
Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. Hit the button over here. Subscribe over there. Ring the bell over.
I'm not doing all that editing with all this. That's not gonna pop up over there.
Ain't nothing popping up. And the people like, where? Just hit the button. Y'all know what to do. Bye.
But you didn't say to Punchy TV, but I'll put that up. Punchy TV.
I ain't know I was supposed to say that.
You have to subscribe to Punchy TV.
Oh.
But that's fine.
But they know they're looking at Punchy
I
TV.
know, that's fine.
We'll put that in the edit. That part, that little conversation.
Yeah, put that in there.
Which turtles are we?
Who's
which
turtle?
Raphael?
We already know that.
He's Raphael, I think? True.
I gotta be Leonardo.
You're Leonardo? Okay. Am I Michelangelo or am I Donatello?
I'm feeling like we could go.
I guess you're Michelangelo. You're Mikey.
I know that guy, maybe.
Okay. Michelangelo.
I'm Donatello. I like Donatello. He has a bow staff.
Michelangelo.
And
I feel like I could be Raphael.
I guess I'm Raphael, but I
lost my son.
Yeah, I don't love that, but it is probably true.
Raphael was the star of the original Ninja Turtles movie.
I forgot the storyline.
Michelangelo was fun, but Raphael was really.
Oh yeah, he was in that movie
story.
a lot. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Because him and Splinter always had to.
What color is the Raphael?
Red.
Red?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But Michelangelo, I think,
angry one.
Michelangelo is the fan favorite though.
And what color is he?
Orange.
Oh, okay. I have to remember the storyline.
I think James
Leonardo's
is
the leader.
Yeah.
And he's blue, and
He's
Donatello's
blue?
purple.
Yeah, he's blue.
Democrat.
James gives me Leonardo.
Yeah.
Maybe so. I forgot the storyline. But I'm trying, Nick. I'm trying to get it out, but then somebody got some more floating wisdom.
But JLP
right here.
is obviously Master Splinter.
He's in there.
That's it. Yeah.
Who's Shredder?
That's a good point. Oh, that's Maxine Waters.
Nice.